Hello everyone. I'm so glad you've joined me today. This week I was using cards that I found on the internet to inspire me. This card was one I saw, and they actually used the stitched triangles for this shape. They fit together better, but I kind of tried it this way and I think it's okay. So the first thing we need to do is we need to do our background. To do our background, what we're going to do is I'm going to pull in a mat and I'm going to move this because I'm going to be spraying water and I don't want to get it on there. All right. I used Melon Mambo. So I'm going to take my Melon Mambo and I'm going to stamp some straight onto my mat. Now you want to make sure your mat is waterproof so that it doesn't go through, because some of them aren't. Then I'm going to take and I'm going to move both of these, spray this with water. All right, I'm going to put this back down, and then I'm going to use a window sheet to pick up some of the ink, and I'm going to put it down and move it around. Now this is just regular white cardstock, but you know, you can get the look by just putting it down and moving it around. And you know, sometimes I'll use an edge to get the look I want. I'm not too worried about filling it in too much. So you're just kind of painting it on. All right, now this has to dry. So I'm going to stop the video and I'll be back when it's dry and we'll finish the card. Okay, our background is dry. And because we've added water to it, it's not watercolor paper, it has warped. So to put this onto my card, let me pull my card in here so you can see what we're doing. There we are. You're really going to have to use a lot of double-sided tape. So I'm going to pull out my double-sided tape, and I have ordered more. I hope it gets here soon. All right, so that I have it. But I went all the way around the edges on this, and then I put some strips down the center. I really wanted to make sure this stuck to my card. So I did put a lot of tear and tape on it so that I could make sure it's stuck down well. All right, and I'm gonna add some, and I'm gonna add the one in the middle first and then one on each side. That way it's kind of evenly spaced. This may be overkill, but I would rather make sure that it stays flat. This is how I did this one, and it's pretty flat. So there we go. All right. Now my card base is Melon Mambo, and again I use Stampin' Up products, but find a pink. That's what this is. That's what I went with. All right, and I'm gonna burnish my ends to make sure that the pieces all come off without taking the backing off. Here, I'm going to go down here now. You have to kind of do this strategically, or you end up with your hand stuck to the tape. All right, now I've got 2 strips left here and one more here. All right, now the hard part is deciding what you want as your top and the bottom. I think I'm going to put this one as my top. It has more of an interest up there. So I'm looking at my top and bottom and evenly spacing it. And then I'm sticking it down, and I'm running my hands over the whole thing so that those pieces in the middle get stuck down. And that kind of helps it flatten out a little bit. Now, I used a piece of the Artistry Blooms DSP, and this one I cut different from that one. The gradations were going east to west. This one is north to south, and I didn't notice it, so it'll be a little different, but that's okay. It may add more interest. So I'm going to add some glue to the back, and I'm going to put the darker color at the top. And I'm going to go in here, and I'm looking at it, and I'm evenly spacing it as much as I can. Sometimes I'll use my grid mat or a ruler and put down there and space it. If it has to be perfect, I'll do it that way. I then use the postage punch, and I punched out 3 pieces from the same designer series paper, and it actually goes up like this. These may not be lined up, but that grape is up higher. So what I'm going to take and do is when I put this on, I'm going to put it on with the grape towards the middle. I'm going to put these 2 down, and this one will be the one that I put in the center. I'll do it that way. So before I can do that, though, I need to stamp it. I'm going to pull in a scrap paper, and I used the Painted Poppies stamp set, and I pulled out that image, and I'm going to take and I'm going to stamp that right on there like so. And then my sentiment came from Quite Curvy. I love that stamp set, and I just wanted something small to put on there, so I'm going to stamp it with hello. I'm going to pull it down a little bit so I can see it. Just simple stamping. And I didn't worry about coloring it because it's on a background. So let's get our pieces added. All right, I'm going to add my 2 pieces like this. All right, there's my purple, so it's going to go down here. And I kind of used my edges of my card, my white piece. Oh, I didn't want it that way. Hold on, don't stick. Woohoo! I got it straight. That was quick. Glad I saw that. I happened to notice the other one. That's the advantage of glue. If you catch it before it grabs hold, you're okay. And then I'm doing the same thing up here. I'm watching my edges, and it may not be exactly perfect, but close enough. And then this piece is going to go on here, and I'm going to use dimensionals for those. And I stuck my dimensionals underneath my stand over here, so I had to grab them out of there. All right, I'm going to do 1 in each corner and 1 in the middle. Now, if you're worried about it collapsing in the mail, you can take and use a piece of fun foam on the back so that it's the full size, and then it won't collapse. All right, and make sure you hold this carefully so you don't rip your DSP. All right, that one ripped in half. I tell you, this batch has given me a fit. I don't know why. All right, let me see now. All right, you make sure you put this down the right way. And I'm going to slide it in just slightly so it's off center. And there it is. And to do the inside, I had a scrap left. So I took a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 and a scrap of the DSP, and I'm going to add it at the bottom. And then this is all purple, but that's okay. It ties into the front, like so. This one was thicker. It just depended on what I had left. So then I'm going to pull that card back in here, and I'm going to add this to the inside of my card. And then I use the same image on the front to stamp my envelope, and I used my Melon Mambo marker to color in just the blooms. That's all I colored in. And there you have it. Something a little different. You never know what I'm going to come up with, but I had fun trying something different. So when you see something and you don't have, I had the stitch triangles, but I wanted to try something different. Look at your punches, look at other things and see what you have. If you're interested in what supplies I used, if you look in the link below, there's and click the URL, it'll take you to so you can see the measurements and my supplies that I used. If you choose to order, I'd appreciate it if you'd order from me. Your orders keep me going, so I appreciate it. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for visiting.